I just blew some money. Count up. Count up. I just blew some money. I just blew some money. Count up. Hundos. Money. I just blew some money at the sugar coated. Count up. Shorty said that he fucked up. Said that he locked up. Y'all lined up. Y'all skip it on her nigga. Try to catch it to her nigga. Condo. Money. Count up. Count up. $20s, $50s, $100s. Get money. $20s, $50s, $100s. $20s, $50s, $100s. $20s, $50s, $100s. You already know the vibe. That was Hundos, one of my joints on my Blokk YouTube. That was on Welcome to Shooter Block, the name of my album, my last project. You can check that out right now. That's on YouTube. Facts of Life. You already know, man. R.I.P. to DMX. R.I.P. to DMX. Salute to everybody that's champing in, everybody that's chiming in, taking the time out of y'all time just to even view it. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate even a second of the viewage. I most definitely appreciate all the love. Most definitely gonna take a time just to say respectfully, R.I.P. to DMX, a great, a legend. I just always want to say respect to DMX. It's a great loss that we just lost. And, you know, it still doesn't seem real. It most definitely still does not seem real, man. I'm still trying to piece the pieces together with that, man. Like, I just really don't understand that situation. But, you know, we trying to rock, man. We just here live streaming, man, getting into it, rocking out. You know the vibe. You know the vibe. Yeah, man, you already know the vibe. You already know the vibe. We live, cooking up, cooking up, cooking up in the wake of DMX untimely passing, which a lot of us cannot understand. You know what I mean? I know we cannot wrap our minds around a person like DMX dying. You know, we always know one thing, like I said, that was great, and it always will be great about DMX is that, you know, he lived his life in the public eye, and we all went through his traumas and his tribulations and his trials with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at it, right, and you see artists, right, There's so many artists that die from like overdoses or like drugs and different things like that, right? Throughout the times though, when you see artists, right, that die, or artists that not even that die, artists that use drugs sometimes, right? They're like heavily ridiculed. You know what I'm saying? Like tabloids, all that memes, all that. Bobby done been on a few memes. Whitney done been on a few memes. Michael Jordan wasn't even something. He was on a few memes. You know what I'm saying? But DMX had like such of a realness to him that people resonated with him. Even throughout all his trials and tribulations, he had wild moments. It was never memed out like that. You know what I'm saying? Like people really, really related to DMX. You know what I'm saying? And even though he went through, the traumas that he was going through, and we don't understand that level. You know what I mean? We don't understand addiction. You know what I mean? Everybody said you should stop or you can stop or you know what I mean? But we really don't know how to go about stopping when you're addicted to something, you're addicted to something. People just put it in the form of drugs or something else. That's something that's drastic to their person. But if you put it into a person like a girl or something, like, yo, leave that girl, bro. She wilding, she cheating, she doing all this, but you still with her. Or the man, vice versa. You see what I'm saying? It's so hard for you to even leave a person that you with because that's a form of addiction because you're addicted to that person in some senses. You know what I'm saying? Because we, as human beings, we develop patterns. You know what I mean? And we have patternistic traits. So that's what we're used to. So, like I said, most definitely R.I.P. to DMX. I'm not going to say that enough. You know what I mean? I just wanted to say that. It's you know what I mean? That's a hard. That's I can't even put it into words, man. You know what I mean? For real, it's something that I've been thinking about the whole time through. He was in his coma, and I just still can't believe it. I just really can't believe it, y'all. You already know the vibe, though. We live, we live. Y'all tuned in to Beat the Block live stream. You already know. Beat the Block. Cooking up, man. You know the vibe. This is Sinners and Saints. You can catch this record on Uda Block on YouTube now. Salute to everybody that's been subscribing to the channel. If you have not subscribed, you can subscribe now and be a part of the block. Here on the block, we don't care who you are. You could be a part of the block. All you got to do, subscribe to the channel. Turn the notification bells on so you notify when I drop new content. I got some good interviews, real full-fledged interviews and things going on. And I really want y'all to be updated when we drop the new content. Like I said, this is Sinners and Saints. Every song that I play on my live stream is original music. All my content or is going to be another person's content. All my songs that I play, I write all the music, whether I'm singing on the record or I bring artists in and they sing on the record. So when you hear my project, I've written the whole project. Every song that you hear is either me singing it or I'm featured on it and I make someone sing it on my project. This record, I'm doing it myself. Sinners and Saints. Check it out, man. Tell me what y'all think about that. Ooh. Shorty wanna get me back. Yeah. You said you written on, I lie all the time. No, you tryna get me back. You you stay putting on, though I lie all the time. You still are my world. Mm. So they like slipping out, so you trying to get me back. Like that, right back. She trying to get me back. Like that, right back. You already know that was Sinners and Saints. You could catch that on Uda Block on YouTube now. Sinners and Saints. I did that record by myself. Personal record. Most definitely was a personal record. Anybody that can relate to that type of a situation. Whereas, you know, I was doing. I'm gonna put in my perspective. You know what I mean? Because we always talk about people, but being in a relationship and you know, living that double life. You know what I mean? Living a double life, and sometimes when you're living a double life, you tend to have a guilt about you, right? Where you tend to think that the other person is cheating or the other person is doing the things that you're doing because you're doing them, right? It's just so unbelievable that the person's not cheating and that person's not doing nothing that you're doing because you're doing it. You know what I mean? So you just have like a guilt, you know what I mean, about yourself, about the situation. So it's so in that turn you think that the person is trying to get you back and she probably gotta have somebody else, you know what I'm saying, because of all of the things that I've been doing, me getting caught cheating and all these things and women calling and all these, you know what I mean, these situations happening, you know what I'm saying? So it was just my take on the situation like that. It's called Sinners and Saints because a lot of times it's the pot calling the kettle black and it's the kettle calling the pot black, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's both people doing things, you know what I'm saying? And what we tend to do is we tend to highlight the next person's faults and flaws and not tend to highlight our own, you know? So like I tend to say is like when we meet people, I look at life like a book, right? Because in every good book, right, you read it again. You might even use highlights, right, in a good book. So you could remember good things, right? So let's say life is like a book, right? So every person that you meet, right, is a chapter, right? And life is time, and time is the pages, right? So if I meet you today, right, and we friends, right, this is the chapter, me and you. This is our chapter. It starts, right? So through time and through life, the situations, us being together, us hanging out, we going out, we have good times, bad times. Through life, life already is writing that story. Whether we choose to write it or not, life is writing that story, right? So in this story, I'm the green highlighter, right? Because my story is I'm highlighted in my book. This is my book, and this person's in my book, and vice versa. I'm in your book, right? So this person's in my book. And I'm highlighted as green, right? The first highlight that we all really knew was the neon green one, right? But there's a whole bunch of colors. There's blue, there's pink, there's yellow. Okay, so all right. So in my book, I'm the green highlight. So in all the stories in my book that I'm writing, I'm the green highlight, right? Okay. And everybody that's in my book, they're another highlight. Let's say that you are a pink highlight, right? You're the pink highlight. So I'm the green highlight. This is our chapter in my book, right? So now as we going along, the story's being written, you see green highlights, stories, things that I'm doing, things that I've done. You see pink highlights, things that's happening, things that she has or he has done, the person has done. You see these highlights, right? So now when we get back into the story now, right? When we get into situations sometimes, right? People are going to highlight your side of the book. They're not going to go into the pink highlight. They're going to talk about all the green highlights, even though we both in this chapter, you see it's both pink and green highlights in our story because you're doing things as well as I'm doing things. Everybody is doing something, right? Whether it's to the drastic extent or just maybe it's minuscule things, minimal things, right? So people tend to highlight other people's flaws. So they're gonna talk about all your things. Yo, so remember this time? They going in the book. It's the only time they remember the book is when it refers to you. Yo, you remember this time? They're going back and they're like, yo, this is our relationship, right? Or our relation. Yo, you remember that? And they go back in the book. Know what I mean? Because you did that, and you was doing this, and you was doing that. But they be skipping parts to say, first of all, you look at this pink right here. You're the one that started the fuckery, which led it into that. You see what I'm saying? People tend to overlook that thing right there. So that's why I named it Sinners and Saints, because in a situation, who's the sinner and who's the saint? Who's right and who's wrong? Is it even about being right and wrong? You know what I'm saying? Who's right, who's wrong? Because we tend to look at the next person as the sinner, and we tend to look at ourselves as the saints. But what about the sinful things or the sinners times that we've had when we were the sinner? We tend to overlook that time. So that's what that situation, related to. I want to go into a record though. I want to play a record featuring a great artist. I love her so much. Her name is Destiny Mariah, Moriah. If you have not heard of her, you need to go and check her out. She is most definitely taking the world by storm. She's most definitely taking the world by storm. She's worked with so many, a plethora of artists, so many artists. And when I reached out to her to just do a record, this is a little while ago when I just reached out to her. She was like, just let me know, anytime. She wasn't bougie, she wasn't stuck up, she wasn't none of that. I've worked with so many artists, man, and she's a dope talent. She's a singer. She does the other kinds of flows. She writes music. She, and she's in a situation. Her grandma, her social media is up. It's like at the time it was like on 10,000. I know it's over that. So she got traction. She got a following. She got a fan base. People that know her. And we did like maybe like 3 or 4 records. We did like 3 or 4 records. I actually wrote another record called "We Gonna Make It." That it's like I can't really explain it. I'd have to play that record for y'all. But my take on that record was me taking a record. Um, I wanted the hook to be kind of country, but not country, like full country. I wanted it to be kind of country, but have kind of like a pop kind of R&B vibe to that. Then on the verse, I wanted the verse to be kind of like R&B ish, not kind of like country rapping. Like when country people rap, kind of like. So I wanted the verse to be kind of like country rapping. I wanted the hook to be kind of pop slash going towards the country lane, but not in the country lane, but going towards that sound range, right? And then the bridge, right? I did a rock and roll type bridge on it. So it was me just playing with the different genres of music and infusing them into one thing. And I'm going to talk about more of that when I get into further episodes of my Writer's Block segments. If you haven't seen Writer's Block, that is my tutorials on helping people how to write rap and how to write music. There's so many different fundamentals to writing music. Sometimes we just go and it's just an organic raw thing that we know how to do. But But when we really understand the mechanics and the things that go into creating music and really composing music, then you'll be even greater at your talent. And it's some of the things that I've learned as a kid just throughout my time, throughout the years of doing music and being a student of music, artists, great artists as well. You know, being able to converse with great artists. You know, some of our favorite artists, being able to converse and take and hear their take on certain things and how they go about writing certain stuff, and how they get over writer's block. And through the times, I ask the right questions when I meet certain great artists. I've had the chance to work with a lot of great artists. You know what I mean? Some of them artists that are your favorite artists, And when I'm around great people, I always want to learn something. You know what I mean? I'm not too much in my ego bag that I can't step down. Is take take a step back and take a seat and learn something. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have two ears and one mouth. So it's always great to learn something. But I want to go into this first record. It's called Real Ones, and Real Ones is a special record to me because there's so much records and so much music that, especially it's just natural the way we write it, you know what I mean? That it's always like blaming the woman, or like she's something, or she did this, or maybe I was cheating or something, but she did that, or it's always something like where I'm blaming her about something, or I'm not blaming her. If I'm not blaming her, I'm just more rapping towards my perspective, or a more male perspective. You see what I'm saying? Not more driven towards just the female's perspective. So this was a song that was driven by just the female perspective. You know what I mean? Because we have so many beautiful women in this world. You know what I mean? So many beautiful women. You know what I'm saying? And we need to protect our women. We need to uplift our women. You know what I'm saying? And we need to highlight our women. We need to highlight the great things about our women, and not just their flaws and not just the bad things that they do. We all are human. None of us are perfect. So we most definitely need to highlight our women's flaws. Whatever nationality your woman is from, that is your woman. And we need to be able to highlight some of those things. And sometimes it's not about, yo, I did this or you did this. You know what I'm saying? So in this situation, I was talking about maybe all the things that I was doing, and maybe some of the things that all the things that she didn't do, maybe. And she could have probably reacted to situations and did this in that way. Or she could have took, the situation in turn and reacted that way. But in turn, she was just a stand-up woman. And I could just say that she's just a real one. So no matter what I say, it just leads back to, me honoring her and appreciating who she's been through all my flaws. You know what I'm saying? I understand that we both have flaws, but some people just deal with another person's flaws, which is at a different height than their own. And we have to commend those kinds of people in our life, you know what I'm saying? Because they may not live to the drastic life that you live in. They might be more homebody, more relaxed, or sleep at like 9 o'clock. You really more late night, you stay out all day, you partying, you doing this. So you know what I'm saying? There's sacrifices being made within relationships, within a relation. There's many sacrifices being made. So sometimes we just got to take a step back and just appreciate, that person that's on our side, you know what I mean? And who rocking with us, and not highlight the flaws and just say, damn, man, I was doing this and that. But damn, yo, you held it down, man. You know what I'm saying? You really, really held it down like a trooper, and you was 10 toes down. So this is a song called Real Ones, featuring Destiny Mariah. I love you so much, Destiny, where you are. I love you. You're a blessed talent. The world needs to know you. If you don't know her, check her out, Destiny Mariah, on everything. Find her right now if you don't know. This is called Real Ones, me featuring Destiny Mariah. You a real one. Baby. You are. You already know the vibe. That was Real Ones featuring Destiny, Mariah, one of the greatest talents on earth. I swear to God, if you haven't checked out Destiny, Mariah, now is your time. Check her out, man. I don't care if you do the stream and you check her out. Check her. Ain't taking away nothing from me to tell you that. Honestly. You know what I mean? We just gonna salute where it need to be saluted, and we gonna leave some of that, you know, crab in the barrel thinking behind us and move forward into a new place. You know what I'm saying? So most definitely, you know what I mean, a good record. Um, just about a beautiful woman and all the things that she endures, the late nights, the this, the girls calling and all the things in the song I said, you know, you know what I mean? I said the women calling and everything. She said she let them, but she's so used to being queen, she let them wear the crown. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe, you know what I mean? He may be doing things and stuff like that, but she knows in some senses that she is where home is. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, she may be flipping, not to take away, you know what I mean? Or she might not be. That doesn't take away or make her weak if she's not flipping out or she is. But it's just an understanding that she knows her place. She knows not just her place within a relationship, I mean within herself. She's like so secure in herself, you know, that she see the people trying to be her. You know what I'm saying? Or even that the people that he's given like a high regard to. You know what I'm saying? Even the women maybe that he's given a high regard to, you know, she still understands her being, her place within herself, that she's so firm within herself, like even through all his flaws or my flaws. So it's just something like that. Just so just saluting, a beautiful woman, strong woman, you know what I mean? Especially a strong black woman out here. It's a lot of strong black women out here, beautiful black women out here. We need to uplift our black women, help them, and, be more transparent with them. Most definitely, we need to be more transparent with our women. And, you know what I mean? Because women are supportive. You know what I mean? You'd be surprised how supportive a woman is. You know what I mean? If you're just honest. And I had to learn that the hard way. Going through a lot of lives, living the two lives and all that. I got this over here, I got that over here. I'm getting caught, all kinds of things. I get caught all the time. So I'm red-handed. If I have my hands right here, it's red, it's red. So I get caught. Some people get away with all they little thing they do. I just get caught. So it's just what it is. But just a person, just being transparent. You know, if you're in a relationship or something, or you probably in a complicated something, it's something rocky, and y'all just separate a little bit. But then you go and you meet another person, and then I don't tell you about this, and then we move forward, and then we start to hit things off, and things can tend to move so fast, and that's what we tend to underestimate is how fast that little spark, that burst of energy, because it's all energy. Love is energy. Hate, it takes energy to hate. That's why we, you know what I mean? I ain't got no time to hate nobody because it takes time and it takes energy to hate. You know what I'm saying? And that same hate is a destructive energy. That same energy is going to come back to destroy you because that's just laws of nature and that's just nature-based things. So it's not about us thinking astrologically and all of these other things, even though every one of these elements add up. It's just us understanding it just from the base roots of everything. So, just supporting a great woman. So shout out to Destiny Mariah for that record. I love you so much. I swear to God, I love you. Beautiful, 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 beautiful woman. Talented and very humble. I reached out to her and she pulled up, man. You know what I mean? She most definitely pulled up from wherever she was at the time. And she pulled up a couple of times. We also did a few other records. So like I said, we have like 4 records. We also got this country kind of record. She was like, "Tess, come on now. Some country, come on." I was like, "Yo, sing the record." That's like, come on. Or sing the record. I want to do alcohol, that's and fast. Or though, but I was like, "Yo, just sing the record for me, man. Just sing this record." You know what I mean? And because she sings more, she like the '90s type of style. So I like to create records like that. Like got that kind of a '90s, let's say a Leah type. Or if I think that '90s vibe, I'll think of like 3 people who come to my mind, like a Mary. She got that. You know what I mean? Shit like that. So you got to be able to do that in her little. You know what I'm saying? She got the slow down too, but she like that '90s. So it got a little bop to it too. So I look at like a Mary J. Blige. I put myself in like a Mary J. Blige perspective mentally, before approaching the record, maybe, or like Aaliyah. You know what I mean? Aaliyah is like one of the greatest because she embodies more like the Aaliyah style with, like the overalls with the Calvin Klein, like with the briefs, the boxer briefs type. You know what I mean? With the bra top, with the sports bra, that type of thing. So, so me creating a record like that, which was like a country kind of record, not that record, but the next record that I have with her, she was like, but she sang the record and the record was great. If I could pull it up, I'll pull it up for you. I'll let you hear a little snip of that. Not too much of that, because that's some fuego bass. You know the vibe though, man. We cooking up, man. I'm gonna play another record though. I'm gonna play this record called Trust No, featuring Mano. One of my joints featuring Mano. Salute to Mano for jumping on the record. You know what I mean? Most definitely. When I linked up with him, he heard about my project and he said, "What's up, yo? Let me hear some records." You know what I'm saying? I wanted him to get on actually the remix of Shoot on the Roof. Shoot on the Roof is on my YouTube, Uda Blokk. You know what I mean? I really wanted Mano to be on the feet on the remix of Uda on the Roof. But he was like, "Yo," and I let him hear a few other records, and he was like, "Yo, I like this record right here, man. What's up?" You know what I mean? He wanted to do like both of them. I was like, "Yo, all right, jump on this one." You know what I mean? On this one, Trust No, I'm singing on this record. Like I said, on all my records, I write everything. That Destiny record, I wrote it. So I write all the R&B, I sing, I rap, I do multiple genres of music. And he was like, "Yeah, man, these are the kind of records that hit, man. These are the records that beat them hits, man." That's what he told me. He's like, "Yeah." And he most definitely jumped on the record and went in his bag and he did the verse mad quick, yo. I was really, really, surprised by his professionalism. How when we went in the studio, how he was just chilling and he wasn't writing at first, he was just chilling. and then he went in there and laid the record. So salute to Mano for that record. Most definitely, you know the vibe. You know the vibe. This is Trust No featuring Mano. When my homie used to fuck with her, dub with her, Ricky at the chunk side. When I met them in the bar, with her. If she really got a man. Shout out to Mano for the feature. Yeah, show me niggas what these hoes do. That's a hoe too. That's a whole crew. Couple of rappers running through the whole crew. Told them meet me at the hotel. Grr, through a block. Can you turn on into a house like that? So no. Yeah. You already know. You already know that was Trust No featuring Mano. Like I said, salute to Mano for the feature, man. I got so much records, man. I got a plethora of talent, man. I got some records. I got Davies records. I got a few records with a few artists. You know what I mean? I haven't let them out the bag, man. You know, people don't think that we be working, but trust me, we be working, and a lot of people respect my craft and they respect my art and they respect my understanding of music and how I can construct music. This is what the artists that I meet, those great artists, they respect that I'm able to switch those lanes and you know what I mean, transcend rap and rock and R&B and write different things. You know what I mean? Even some music I don't perform it, I write a lot of different music for different artists. So you know, it's always stepping your pen up, man. You know, I talk about a lot about that on my tutorials, how to rap and write songs with me, Writer's Block. You already know the vibe, though. I'm just playing a few records. Shout out to www.Don't Hide the Plug. Don't Hide the Plug. This live stream is being sponsored by Don't Hide the Plug, where you get all your dope new era fitteds once again Don't Hide the Plug, where you get your dope, custom, new era fitted, such as the Nationality of Hip Hop, Old New York, Cloud, many others. We got the Don't Hide the Plug joint. Campers and Climbers is a new feature, and that is fire. You can check that out on www.don'thidetheplug.com. You can check out the website, and you can check us out on all social media platforms to stay up to date with what's going on, you know? You already know, once again, this live stream is being sponsored by Don't Hide the Plug, www.don'thidetheplug.com, and ask yourself the question, are you hiding the plug? Check it out. You already know, moving it forward, moving it forward. I want to play another record for y'all, man. I got this record. I'm going to give y'all this record right here, man. You already know. This is NYLA featuring Dutch Capital from DC and featuring Preen the Press from Brooklyn. You can check them out. Dutch Capital from DC, Preen the Press. You already know. On this, I'm doing a mixture of melodizing, rapping, and a bunch of things. So just find me on a record like Waldo. You always got to find me on the record of what I'm doing on the record, because I do so much different things on certain records. Not every record I rap on, not every record I sing on, not every, you know what I mean? So just changing up my styles all the time, man. Check it out. This is NYLA featuring Preen the Prez and Dutch Capital. You already know the vibe. You are live on Beat the Block live stream, and this live stream is being sponsored by Don't Hide the Plug. www.don'thidetheplug now and get your dope, custom, new era fitteds. Nationality hip hop, one of my favorite. What's your nationality? Huda. It ain't wild. Brooklyn and back. I feel like Pac in LA. Woo. But I could drop it today. And YLA, and YLA, my bitch got a. But in the day, I hope I'm in YLA. LA, and YLA. Yep. Am I getting money, whipping foreigns, light up. Goddamn, shawty. Goddamn. You bad. Pop, 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 pop. Go, go. LA, NYLA, all the way. Go. Yeah. MIA. Oh, I'm talking about the steakhouse. Back in NYC, LA, and Wale, all the way. To the stay with me, killers on the payroll. Your bitch fuck with me, she do what I say so. Just MIA, and Wale. You already know the vibe. That was NYLA featuring Dutch Capital and Preem the Prez on that record. It was a great time creating that record. I created that record in Quad Studios. Majority of my project I created in Quad Studios. I created a couple records in Quad, but then I moved to Germano Sounds and I created my my, my album entirety in Germano Sounds. But that was a great session. Most definitely salute to Dutch. He was a part of the session. Preem wasn't able to make it, but I ended up scheduling another session. We did that one in Premier Sounds. Premier Sounds is under Quad Studios. It's right under Quad Studios. So there is an actual studio. Quad is on 10, on the 10th floor. And right under it is Premier Sounds. So we ended up doing Preem's verse in Premier Sounds. Most definitely jumped on there and fired that up. You know what I mean? Um, Dutch Capital, he really surprised me. You know what I mean? Because I was working with somebody else and they brought him along. They just brought him with them, and he was from Detroit. I mean, he was from DC, and he came with them, and he came to my session. And when he came in the session, I was creating records at the time. I was recording something, and then I ended up coming out the booth and was listening to something, you know what I mean? And when he was in there and a couple of my other people was in there, I ended up saying, you know what I mean? Let me play a record for y'all, you know what I'm saying? And I ended up playing in YLA, you know what I mean? I played that record, you know what I mean? He was like, yo, this is fire, yo. I was like, yo, I played it again for him. So he was like, yo, I was like, wow, you got something you want to go on in? He was like, I got some shit like that shit. Yo, he went in there and came up with that shit right there, boom, one time, and did that shit, laid the ad libs and everything on that verse. How he did that, it was fire. I was like, yeah, this shit is a hit. This is a thing. I ain't gonna hold you. As soon as he started off the whole joint, I was like, yeah, man, his verse is still my favorite verse on the song. You know what I mean? I love all my music. Preem fired it. You know what I mean? On the song, Preem's verse is actually my second favorite verse on the song. You know what I mean? I actually created like 4 verses just to place, just to be placed in the record to make sure I fit in the record. You know what I mean? Because I had the record already, and then I had verses, 2 verses on this record, and I had the hook. So then when he heard it, and then he jumped on it, I was like, damn. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna put him first. So then I started to rearrange it. You know what I'm saying? Then I started testing the verses between my brothers, between Swank, Cartel, and everybody. And you know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, I don't know, man. You might have to come again, man. You know what I'm saying? So word, son. I did like 3 versions. I did like 3 or 4 versions of that record just to place, just to fit. At one point I was like, yo, man, I came up with like 3 verses or something. I was like, yo, man, you know what? I'll just leave them on the record now. Word, bro. Because I like the way they both came at the record. You know what I'm saying? I just like the way they came at the record. So most definitely salute to them. Salute to them. You already know this is Beat the Block live stream. You already know where I have beat the block. I got off the streets, stopped selling the you know what, and I have beat the block. Fuck you mean? And this is Beat the Block live stream, man, because we keeping our ears to the streets, and that's what Beat the Block means, man. You already know the vibe. We live. Salute to everybody that tuned in. If you're on my Facebook, I'm live streaming from multiple platforms right now. Salute to Nationality of Hip Hop. I'm live streaming from Nationality on Facebook, Plug Nation on Facebook, my Shooter Block page on Facebook, Shooter Block on YouTube as well. I am streaming from all those platforms, so salute to everybody. If you are part of any of those other platforms, make sure that you subscribe to Uda Block on YouTube so that you're updated on the new interviews, such as one that I had with Dr. Evanda Catherine and many others. And you'll be in tune with what's going on. So, like I said, salute to everybody. This is just a live stream. Come vibe with y'all, talk a couple topics with y'all, smoke one, let y'all hear a couple songs, couple of vibes. You know what I mean? Couple of vibes I'm into. Maybe a little thoughts on some records that I wrote and some perspectives that I was in while I was writing them. So, hopefully y'all enjoyed that. You already know the vibe. Y'all just stay tuned, man. Like I said, salute to y'all. I'm always looking forward to your comments. I appreciate all the likes. I appreciate the subscriptions. That's what I ask y'all to do is go and subscribe. It don't take nothing to just hit that button. It don't take nothing, hit that button. You know me? So, but I just really like your comments because your comments guides me. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm doing something, I'm not in an egotistical bag where I think I'm the creative and it goes the way I'm going. No, my program is running different. I have feedback from people that's my followers, my friends, my family, and they give me feedbacks on how my thing is going and say, you know what, would it be cool if you do this? And I take that into consideration and I'm adding in the tweaks. That's for me. Being so I think that's pretty cool that y'all information is most definitely utilized and it's being translated on the channel, on the network, on the broadcast. So salute to everybody tuned in. You that was cooking up the roaster. You know the vibe.